Hello, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. It is Monday night and hopefully I'm live. And hopefully I will see comments tonight. Last week I had people comment, but I couldn't see them until after I was done and then they showed up. So we'll see if I get some people to join tonight, hopefully. So amazingly enough, it's the last day of January, which means we're over halfway through celebration because it lasts until February 28th. So we've got one more month. So I'm going to try to highlight a lot of celebration items after tonight, but I wanted to do some Valentine stuff because Valentine's Day is going to be here pretty soon. So let me switch cameras here and we'll get started. There we go. So I decided tonight I would show you up front what we're going to do. So there's two different cards I want to show you. This one I thought would make a really nice anniversary card. And this one would be a fun Valentine's Day card. And then my good friend Diana showed us how to make these at our last demonstrator meeting. She calls them heart lollies. So I'm going to show you how to make that because they're just too fun. So I'm going to start with my anniversary card first. Let's see here. So for the Celebrate, I'm using Create with Friends. This is one done by $1 Million seller at Stampin' Up. I'm also using this suite. So the Love and Happiness, here's the stamp set. It's got some really nice greetings in it, unusual ones that we haven't ever had anything similar before. So I really like. And then what's really cool about this is it's got dies and an embossing folder. So here are the dies. I've been using the hearts, so they're not in here. Hearts, some flowers, some leaves, and two greeting dies. And if you look over here, you can see which ones they cut out. All right. And then, put those so I don't lose them. There's an embossing folder that works with the dies. So it looks like this. And what's really cool is you can take the die, and I'm going to do this tonight. It will cut out the heart. So it goes right along with this 3D embossing folder. Isn't that cool? All right. I always want to say, well, what are they going to think of next? But I tell you what, Stampin' Up's really good at thinking of the next thing. All right. So for this card, I'm going to start with Very Vanilla. I thought, I don't know, to me, Very Vanilla is an elegant color. I don't know why, I just think it is. That's what I always think of anyway. All right. So there's my base. And I cut some crumb cake. And I did, let's see, I just went down one, it looks like. So 4 by 5 1/4. And the first thing I did was I ran it through the embossing folder. So I embossed it, and you'll see, then I went back and cut out the heart. So it's best, I think, to do the embossing folder first. Great depth on it because it is a 3D, and then cut the heart out afterwards. So I'm going to lay that on here. I don't want to glue it down yet, but I want to know where I need to stamp. So for the first one I showed you, I used Sahara Sand. This one I decided I'm going to try crumb cake, and it's just a little bit darker. So see if I like that darker better or whether I like the lighter. And part of that is because I had Sahara Sand out because it matches designer series paper for the next one. So I just used it. So as you can see, it is just a little bit bigger. So whenever I have that happen, I grab a pencil. And I'm going to just mark my edges here so I can kind of see where those are. And I'm going to angle it so I don't have to worry about it being straight, because I struggle sometimes trying to keep things straight. All right, so now let's lay the heart back over there. All right. Looks like I should have maybe gone up just a little bit. So if something like that happens, one thing you can always do is just take another piece of your Very Vanilla and stamp it and put it underneath there. All right, and then I'm going to take crumb cake and I'm pulling these leaves, just kind of this vine look, from Plentiful Plants. See this here? So I'm using that. And I want to put it up pretty close here, like that. Erase my little spots. Trying to decide whether I'm going to be happy with that or not. All right, so I will probably fix that, but for time's sake, you can see I needed to just move it up just a little bit. The other thing I could do is, if I want it like that, would be to trim off. I think I'll just do that. I'll trim down so it's just a little bit shorter and thinner. This does the trick. There we go. I like that much better. All right. I like to pop it up so I get some depth. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals here. And put these on. If you signed up for Cards and Conversation and didn't come on Saturday, you missed out, because those of us that were there had a really good time. And I know some of you that missed out are making plans to stop by and get your kits. And I tell you, my good friend Lois, she did the Light the Candle, the new kit. Oh my gosh, those cards are adorable. And everyone's loving them so much that they're already out of stock again. They went in and went right back out. So they're going to, once they get more in the warehouse, it'll be available again. But if that's something you're really interested in and you want one, reach out to me and let me know so that I can get you one when they come back available. And I realized I forgot to put my ribbon on, so I'm going to pull that edge up just a little bit. I'm using the, what's it called? Faux suede trim. Oh, this ribbon is so soft. And I really like it because it's easy to work with. So I cut this previously, and whenever I'm using ribbon, I love to use glue dots. I always put one on the end, and then one on each end and one in the middle. If it's very long, sometimes if you don't put one in the middle, it just sags a little bit. I don't like that. And this will be bent a little bit, unfortunately. I don't know about you, but it seems like I'm always, if I'm talking, I'm not paying attention and then I mess something up. I'm sure none of you do that. All right, so we'll send that around the edge. Same on this side. So I had another Cards and Conversation scheduled for the last Saturday in February, but I may have to move that one. We might get to go to Denver and see our second grandson. And if that happens, sorry guys, you lose out. I am going to Denver. So I will let you know for sure. Brandon thought they would know in the next week or so what weekend was going to work best for them. So I'm just kind of on hold until he talks to his company. But we're super excited to get to go see all of them, but especially get to see little guy because we've only gotten to hang out with him once. And we're really looking forward to spending some time with him. All right. I don't know about you. I clean up my desk and then I have more trouble finding stuff. All right. I always just like to put a little knot on there. So there you go. There's that one. And then on this one, for the inside, I use the hearts, and you're not going to believe this, but the heart actually comes from A Good Man, which is the stamp set, the masculine stamp set that we've had in the catalog. Hey, Cindy, thanks for joining me tonight, for letting me know that you're there. And the happy anniversary, I loaned some stamp sets to Kathy. She's teaching my class this week. Well, hopefully we get to have it. We'll see how much snow we get for how to color with our blends. And I think I accidentally put that stamp in with what I gave her. So I can't find my happy anniversary, so I'm not going to do the inside. But this little heart is from A Good Man, which I thought was fun. So there's that one. And then we'll do this fun fold. Let me close these and get them out of the way. A couple little tips for you on this fun fold. And I talked about some of this the other night when we did a fun fold. I don't know if it was last week or previously. All right, so I've already scored this one in half. This piece of paper is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. It's basic white. Then I have a piece of Sahara sand, and it is scored at 5 1/4 for this first fold, and then 8 for the next one. So 5 1/4 and 8. And that's going to create this piece that fits right inside here, just like that. And you know what? I forgot. I need to cut off 1 1/4 of an inch, I believe. I'm going to double check. I forgot about that. When I measured my score marks, I forgot to make sure my paper was the right size. I'm sure glad I'm not in these videos to impress you with how I do everything perfectly. All right, so this piece is actually 4 inches by 10 3/4. Okay, so that matches up like that. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, and I did this last time too, is we're going to glue this designer series paper down. This paper is actually Christmas paper. It's the Tidings of Christmas, and I thought these stripes would work really well for Valentine's Day. And I'm going to only put, hey, Marilyn, how are you? Thank you for greetings from Topeka. So this one here, I'm only going to put the adhesive on the outside. Now I usually put it in the middle, but there's a reason I'm not doing that. So we'll put this on there. Then I'm going to close it. I'm going to place it inside the embossing folder. Now, what I like about our newer embossing folders is they have this black line, so you can make sure everything is straight. So I'm going to line it up here, and I want to kind of measure and make sure that the spacing up and down is about the same. So my heart's in the middle. It's kind of hard to do this where you guys can see. I know I'm not real I have a lot of actual factuals in my family, as I always say. I am not one. I'm okay with, oh, that's pretty close. All right, I'm going to go off screen here real quick and run it through my die cutting machine. Just show you here, this is one of our 3D. So I have my base. I'm going to put this on top, and then I'm going to use number 4 for embossing, and I'm going to run it through the die cut machine. I will tell you it's pretty tight because you really have like 2.5 thicknesses, because you've got your card base, so the front and the back, plus you have that designer series paper on there. All right, so now I'm going to grab my clear plate, put it on here, and I'm going to need number 2. which I had in my hand just before I started. And I'm going to take the heart, I'm going to open the card up, and I'm going to line it up. This is going to be hard for you to see, but I'll show you maybe on the folder. This lines up, and I found the easiest way to do is on the inside of the heart, because see, it almost completely fills up that solid part. So I'm going to lay my heart out, and then I'm going to put the die here, and then I'm going to run it through. There's my number 2. And for this, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then another 3 on top so that there's enough thickness that it goes through. So I'll go off camera again and quickly try to run that through. It slid. All right, we're going to have to use some washi tape because when I move it to go to the machine, it slides. They have told us they're still working on our magnetic plate for this, but Stampin' Up! Is very particular about how their stuff works, and they won't put something out until they're sure it's the quality they want. So we're hoping before too long to have the magnetic plate, which will be wonderful. All right. Now here's what I think is really cool. That punches out, and now I have 2 hearts. This is embossed. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. I couldn't see it. And we've got this heart that we can use either on this project or on something else. All right, so we're going to close that up. And then you're going to put this in here and glue it down. Am I doing it on time? Oh goodness, I'm going long here. You will put adhesive. Now you can decide, you can either use one that's embossed like this, or you can cut out another one that's solid. On my first one, I left it solid. So I cut out another one so it was solid. And then I added some little hearts that are also from that die, stamped some more of those hearts there. The Lots of Love is from the Celebrating You stamp set, Lots of Love, that's in the mini catalog. And I really like that. All right, so you can see how it finishes up. I'm not going to keep going here because you've seen the basics. But add the hearts. I used the Wonderful Gems to add some bling, and then I used some twine here. What I did also is you'll notice that this one is heart here. See how that's embossed? I took the heart that I embossed for this card and where I cut out, and then I just cut out a heart from the center of it. I took this, put it right here in the middle, so you could even do this if you wanted another layer, and cut that out. And that's how I got this embossed heart here. So I'm not wasting anything. I just keep using all the pieces and parts. So that is the second card. I want to get to the Lolli because the Lolli will take just a little bit longer. I'll try to share some tips and tricks that I've learned as I've been playing with it. All right, get this out. I had these cut and ready, but we'll slide it over here. All right. All right, so for the Lolli, the heart Lolli, like a lollipop, what Diana does, and the reason she calls them lollies, is that she will put them on a stick and then make them as table decorations. So you can do circles or rectangles or whatever, But I thought the way she did the heart was really cool, so I wanted to share that with you. So the first piece here is a piece of designer series paper that is 2 by 12. And I've scored it at 6. Now is where we do the cutting. And I'm going to show you what you want to end up with. You want to end up with cutting off about like this. Remember when we used to do little hearts and we cut out paper? It's kind of like that. Where the crease or where your fold is where you want to cut. Get this the right way. There we go. So we're going to cut about like that. All right. And you want this and this to be pretty close, the top of the heart part and the edge here to be about the same. It looks like I didn't fold that quite straight here. There we go. All right. I've learned a lot of tips along the way. You definitely want to start and come up like this. And then I've learned to go down much farther than I did the first few times. I have to tell you, the other day, I ended up with 4 or 5 that didn't work, and I was getting really frustrated. So here you can, you know how we used to make those kind of a bracket? And that's what you want it to look like. Here, I'll move that up so you can see it. If I go this way, see how it's a bracket? And that's what you want. And the reason I have it on my scoring is now I'm going to score at every 1/4 of an inch. So you're just going to go down the stamp and score and do every 1/4 of an inch. When you do this, remember designer series paper is not as thick as our cardstock. So you need to be careful, because with cards, with the designer series paper, if you push too hard, some of you are like that, you know who you are, you'll tear your paper and you don't want to do that. So now I'm going to come back and do the exact same thing on this side. I'm a righty, so I always do better on the right hand side. Again, I'm doing every 1/4 of an inch. When Diana shared this with us, she also showed doing every 1/2 inch, which you can do, but it makes it a lot thicker because you don't have as many folds. And so for this size, I really think every 4th inch is your best option. All right, there we go. And see how your designer series paper is so thin, it even starts curling with all of that. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way. And now I'm going to heat. Got hot. There we go. I am actually using a glue gun for the first time in a long time. I can't remember the last time I used one. I actually happened to see one when I was putting some stuff away in the basement, or I'm not even sure I would have known where to look for one. So we'll get it started warming up. While I'm finishing this, let's get this stuff out of the way. I don't get glue where I don't want it. I do have spots left for my Coloring with Blends class, but I don't know if you've watched the weather, but they're saying we're in a weather advisory. So there's a good chance I will be moving that class. If you would like to attend, and this Thursday didn't work, reach out to me and let me know, and I'll keep you apprised and take in your input for when we'll reschedule. So I'm just doing accordion here. So back and forth, back and forth. The designer series paper is a little bit easier to fold because it's thinner. I'm just going to go every other one. I have 9 of you signed up for Stamp Camp on February 12th. You have until Saturday, and then after that we will not be taking any more RSVPs for the event, so we can start getting all our papers and everything cut. It's at Baser at the VFW, and the projects I think you're going to love. We're doing some really fun things. We're using several different stamp sets and some fun folds, and you're going to love it. So let me know if you can attend. if you would sign up and then find out that you can't join us, we will provide instructions for you and all your kits. Your names will still be in the door prize drawing, and you'll get all the little goodies that we share with everybody. So definitely consider joining us. All right, I was going to have this all done, and then I got hungry and went and ate and forgot about doing this. I'm just about done. This paper is from the Valentine set. It's not the Love and Happiness. It's the one on the page before. I believe it's on page 9. It's in the catalog here. It's really cute paper. I used it for those little purses that I showed a couple weeks ago. All right, so there we go. We got all these little pieces folded. And then you're going to cut off one piece at the end, so it lines up a little bit better. I like using tear tape, you know that. So I'm going to throw some tear tape on this one piece at the end, and it's going to wrap around, and you're going to match them up like this. So I'm going to put it here. The tear tape is just a little bit wider, but you can fold it over so that it's the same width as the, I didn't get that on the end very good there. All right. You know how it is, it works fine until you're trying to do it in front of other people, and then there's always issues. All right. Let's see, and I mentioned at the beginning, celebration. So if you haven't gotten your celebration goodies, make sure you get your order to me. Every 50 you spend, you get free merchandise. Oh my gosh, there's some fun things this time. So many of the things this time just make me smile. And I think we all need that. Boy, with the 1.5 years or 2 years, almost 2 years, amazing that we've had. Okay, we need to smile. All right, so I'm going to match them up. Make sure they match up here on the straight edge. And you're going to end up with a funny little piece here. That's okay. You're just going to trim it off so you have a nice point there. That's the first time I've ever had a little piece on the other side. All right, so now you're going to stand it up and see how I've got the humps here. We're going to go and push them, and we want to go towards the center. So we're going to take it and push down the center, and there you go. Look at that heart. Isn't that cool? Now, because there's all these folds, you have to, and that it's hard to hold it in place. And that's why you want the hot glue gun. So what I did was I grabbed my layering circle dies, and I had circles laying. Oh, there they go. They went underneath the frame. I just cut some circles so that I could put them here in the center. To me, this is the trickiest part, is to get this to hold down. Let's see if my hot glue is ready. Yep. All right. Get that ready. Now I'm going to hold this down, squeeze it all into the middle, and then grab my circle and try to put this on without burning my fingers. All right, and then hold it down just a little bit. I thought it would be good to show you some of the mistakes I made so you can kind of learn from my mistakes so you don't have to do the same thing. At the very beginning, I was not going down very far here. So then I wasn't getting much of a dip to the top of my hearts. And then I wasn't going down far enough, so I didn't get this nice curve here. Oh, my hot glue must not have been ready. It's not sticking. Nope, it's not ready. All right, so while I'm waiting for that to continue to heat, let me grab another one here. So I'll show you. So this one's not too bad, but see how it doesn't come down? I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't have enough of a dip here, and it doesn't really, it's nice and round, but I didn't think it looked very well. I have to admit, after I did think 4 of these. Now this one is not too bad, but again, I just feel like it needs to angle down just a little bit more. All right, so those are the things I've learned. You want to push this in and try to make this a nice circle so that it's the right, so everything's proportional. Boy, that glue's taken forever to heat up. I didn't think it took that long. I'll show you another one that I made. So here's this one in white, and these are the hearts like I cut out from that Love and Happiness. And I used just some of the designer series paper, and you know me, I'm putting white twine on everything these days. Don't really know why that is what I'm doing, but that's where I'm at right now. All right, we'll try again here. Let's see if it's hotter this time. Yeah, you can tell it's hotter, it's clearer. So I'll lay this down. Push that all up. And I can tell it's because it's hot even through the paper. Now, if you were wanting to put this on a lolly, on a stick, so that you could make table decorations or whatever, I would encourage you, oh, that's sticking pretty quick. On the back, oh, see, I didn't get that up real good. You can see how it's kind of messed up there. But I'd probably put my stick in here before I put the circle on the back. Doesn't look as bad on this side as it does on the back side. All right, so that's how you make your lolly. And I will post a picture of this online so you can get an idea for your template. And again, you want to start at the fold and go out and around. Let me show you, I've got, I think, one other heart that I made here. So here's another white one. This one here, then I will add some hearts. Where did I lay them? Probably not that. Let's go with one like that. And I would probably cut out the reverse side of this paper, which is this pink, and do one in the pink. The papers are really cute in that other set. All right. Now that I know the circle's not very good in the back, it's really bothering me. All right. There you go. And then I'd add another one and some ribbon. Aren't those fun? And I'm sure you guys are going to be able to create ones that work much, much better than what I did. These are times when my arthritis comes into play. So I wanted to show you one other thing before I go. And at our meeting, one of my friends, Julie, made these really cute little Valentine boxes. Aren't these cute? These are the little treat boxes that are also a part of this suite. And she put, it'll hold 2 York peppermint patties in there. And then she's cut this little envelope as part of the other dies with the ribbon. Isn't that cute? And I wanted to show you what I created. I chose to use the paper that is with the Hello Friend. So I did this one, did the Just For You that's out of that same stamp set as the Lots of Love. And then these little flowers are part of this heart, the heart dies. And I put, you can see I did the back, I filled mine with lifesavers. So if you're looking for ideas for little treats, here's the 2 little gift boxes. You can make some little hearts. These would be awesome on a card. You could take your card, grab my card here, like this, do your heart. Oh, it's upside down. Like that, put the lolly on the card front as well. Might be a little tricky mailing, but if you were giving it to somebody, and that would probably go through the mail too. You could do it that way as well. So there you go, hearts, hearts, and hearts tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful week. If you live in the Kansas City area, be careful with all the snow coming. Make sure you're ready to stay home, hopefully for a couple days. Thank you so much for joining me. I guess I should check. It doesn't look like I have any other comments. Thank you so much. Sorry it went so long tonight. We'll see you next Monday night at 7. Thanks and have a great week.